Welcome to RGB, your weekly podcast where we discuss the latest technology news, cool gadget, product reviews, new apps, and great workflows. This is episode number 9. My name is Alexandre Valliere-Lagacé, and I'm joined by my co-host, Tyler Ménard. This week, we go over the most influential gadgets, an Apple Music redesign, and a crazy Mac collection. Time magazine released a cool top 50 most influential gadgets of all times, going back a few decades all the way to most recent gadget. Just for a...
It's of all time, so it's not going back a few decades. It's just going back all time.
Well, what's the oldest one? I see a piano in there. But, okay, yeah, Osborne 1, which is a 1981 computer. That's not very young. But most of the other stuff are 90s.
The number 6, there's a record player from 1877.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
It's more than a few decades.
So it's all time.
All right. So let's go through quickly just a few of those. Number 50. It's just funny that they put it there because it's a total flop project. The Google Glass. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's a surprise. I'm surprised to see it in the list.
I'm sure it's just because they had to mention it because it's so futuristic and it's kind of a good technology product because it's all packaged in a very small form factor. It's one of the first wearables with the camera, with a screen that is not that far from a actual pair of glasses. You just have this little prong on your right side that sticks out, but it's not that bad. You know, it's not like a VR headset or something.
It's a good idea. I think we're just not there yet as a society.
Yeah, if they could incorporate the prism inside the glass itself of the glasses and the camera inside the frame of the glasses, it would be much better. But now you have something that sticks out of your eye like a Star Trek Borg, so it's not the best thing there is.
It always made me think of Dragon Ball. I don't know why. They had these like heads-up displays. I don't know. It's the same thing.
Yeah, you're right. I remember now. Yeah,
It was like little blue glasses, but just one eye.
Okay. Number 49, the MakerBot Replicator, which is one of the first mainstream 3D printers. I don't know why this model in particular, but the MakerBots were great. There's a bunch of others that came out at the similar time. I don't think we have really started the revolution for the consumer space. Right now, it's mostly used by people who kickstart their own devices or cases or whatever. It's a cheap way to get prototypes fast and with a very low cost. So, but for the consumers, you won't see like they say for some game consoles, like one in every home. Not yet. Probably the next decade, but not right now.
What else is interesting? There's a lot of personal devices like the Walkman, the iPod, obviously.
Yeah, the Raspberry Pi,
Palm Pilot,
as I mentioned.
Yeah.
The Nest thermostat.
Yeah.
What is there? I'm not going to go over all of them. The Oculus Rift is there. My colleague just got his yesterday, so he stayed up very late and worked from home today. So it was pretty messed up. So yeah, it's pretty nice. He says a few games are making him sick, but the idea and the way it's made, it's actually pretty fun, even just for regular movies. He has a 360 movie he can watch, so he loves it. So, but other big names in that.
There's a couple of Apple products.
Oh my God, the Gerald cable box. You're probably too young to live those years,
Yes.
but in the 50s, now it says like 70s and 80s, there was this big remote for your TV that was actually with a cable running all the way to the TV set, and you had like a row of buttons and a selector, so you could have like 3 selections, like top, middle, and bottom, and then like 12 buttons, and you had to press buttons like on your blender today. When you press a button on like on ice, the other ones pop out.
Yeah.
The exact same thing. We had one of those, one of our old wooden TV sets, and later in the 90s, there were some pirate boxes that were actually built to look like a Gerald. So, as you might know, old people keep their stuff forever. If it's not broken, why throw it away? So there was lots of households with a newer television, or just an old television with a VCR or some kind of a cable box, but they kept the Gerald like on top of the TV just because it was working, and why throw it away even if they don't use it? So the guys making the pirate box actually thought it was a good idea to make their product inside of Gerald box, so you could purchase that descrambler and put it on your TV, and it looks pretty legit.
It looks like half a laptop.
It was huge.
There's also there's a TV number 2.
Oh yeah, I'm still in the 20 something. iPad, answering machine, some ThinkPad. Oh yeah, the GVC video movie camcorder. I remember when I saw these ads in the 80s. That was crazy.
We had one of those when I was a kid. It might have been even bigger than the one in the ad we see here.
Yeah, but this one in the ad was like the first compact.
Oh, compact.
Yeah. Yeah, not very compact. No. The Game Boy, that's cool. The NES, the US Robotics Sportster 56K model.
I saw a bunch of these. I had a stash at like an older company, and I saw a bunch of those.
Okay.
I don't know what they were used for. I think they were connected for like the printers or something.
Oh yeah, possible.
The VCR.
VCR, yeah. The iPod. Yeah, okay. The transistor radio, so that's pretty old. And the IBM model 5150. Sony Walkman, that was nice.
Did you have a Walkman?
Yes. Well, actually, when the first yellow Sony Walkman came out, my grandmother had one, so I was always like borrowing it for my music. But then I eventually got my very own yellow Walkman, probably 89 or 90, something like that. For forever, because it was like a brick. It fell down a few flights of stairs. It was scratched, it was cracked, but it was never broken. So it was a beast. And then I moved on to a Discman that was like 98, 99, something like that.
I don't think I ever owned a Walkman.
No?
No.
And the last one is the Apple iPhone.
What's that?
It's a screen in your hand that can do many things.
No, that's not the answer. It's a phone. It's a widescreen iPad. It's an internet communicator.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. Talking about music player in your hand, Apple Music is supposed to get a refresh at WWDC. It was a leak from Mark Gurman from 9 to 5 Mac. Just a few hours before, there was, who was it that released the first leak? Bloomberg, yeah. Bloomberg reported that there would be a revamped interface at WWDC this summer. But then Mark Gurman, with his source, went even further with that. He got all the details. So basically, there's no more translucency, and the color of the albums will not be peeking up from behind. It will be mostly black and white, and a more prominent album art. So that's what they say. So different tones of colors. All the sections will be reorganized also. So you will have probably a better UI and UX in there. San Francisco font will be used almost everywhere. A bunch of 3D Touch previews. So yeah, I only have one request for that app. If we could use it landscape. That's all I'm asking.
Do you still use Apple Music?
Yes, because of Apple Music. Yes, I still use it in the car when I put music. But like I said in past podcasts, I have this magnetic air vent holder for my iPhone case, and when I put my phone, it fits perfectly on the holder and sits on the dash. But whenever I put it on landscape, the Apple Music app will never rotate.
I'm not subscribed, but I remember the app just being horrible. I think it hasn't changed a lot, right?
Just a little bit, just a few changes here and there. But basically what I do is I go in the For You section. I like a lot of metal bands. So whenever they suggest me a playlist, like Discover Pearl Jam or Discover Pantera or something like that, I just start one of those. And if they're not amongst the first suggestions, I just scroll a bit and I get some classic rock or some classic metal from the 80s. So that's mostly that. And when my kids are in the car, they take my phone and they search for whatever pop song they want to listen to.
When you're not subscribed to Apple Music, they're really pushing hey, we have Apple Music, please subscribe. Are you sure? Are you sure? And it's everywhere. You can't really get rid of it.
Yeah, and I think that one of the tabs at the bottom is always like Apple Music, even if you don't have it. And you cannot, I think, like remove those tabs with personalization. So, yeah. But for $10 a month, it's not too bad. And the family plan at 15 is hard to beat. Spotify in Canada still don't have any family plan, unless you get a Rogers
share
anything plan. Yeah, everything plan. Then you will get like a promotion and you will be able to use it, which for me makes no sense. If Spotify has the feature worldwide or almost, and you can have it with Rogers with a special plan, why not just open it for everyone?
All the Canadian carriers are pushing this music thing with Spotify and everything.
Yeah, but it makes no sense for Spotify. What kind of deal is that? You have a feature, people want to use it, but instead of being able to purchase your service for $15 per month for a family plan, they all go to Apple Music. Apple announced 13 million subscribers. How many of those could Spotify gain if they just released the family plan in Canada and probably some other countries too? Makes no sense.
I don't know.
Anyways, something a bit more uplifting, if you want. Joyful, yeah. Colorful also.
Oh.
Some kid from Maine has a museum in his basement. We all had a bunch of computers around when we were younger, but this kid actually mowed the lawns every summer to get his little paycheck like that. And he purchased very old computers, probably also has connections to get some from his father's friends or something, because he has a crazy collections. You have everything from old Macintoshes, and I say Macintoshes. You hear me right? Phil Schiller. There's an S. And he has all the iMacs, the colorful ones, tangerine, all the purples, the flower power and everything. A bunch of iMacs, even some servers, a ton of posters. The guy really has quite a collection, and even has, I think, 3 computers which are actually unreleased prototypes with translucent cases. There looks like he has two Newtons, so which are also prototypes. So it's a pretty extensive collection. They say that he has every big computer model except the Lisa 1, the first Lisa. So it's it's a pretty crazy. According to other special collectioners, he's probably one of the top 20 collections right now. So
he has a cube,
the iMac G3 cubes.
Yeah, he also has. I like the one of the iMacs. I think it's the second generation. The one it's like. The computer's in this stand and there's just a screen with like the arm,
the half circle, the half sphere.
Yeah,
that one is my favorite of all designs. It was so amazing, and the ads were cool.
It's the Pixar guy.
Yeah, well, very inspired by the Luxo lamps. A few podcasts ago, we talked about Nest and the problems they currently have. They're currently facing. And there's also one more problem. They are starting to lose some key employees. Fortune reports that Yuki Matsuoka is a well-known robotics expert who co-founded the Google X Project Lab. She actually joined Apple last year after leaving Nest, so she was probably one of the first big name to quit Nest. I don't know exactly what she's doing at Apple's, but you never have enough robotics specialist for any kind of thing, be it for your assembly line, or maybe for Liam. Maybe she worked on Liam, or maybe the future Apple car.
She's supposed to be joining the health team. So they say research kit, health kit, care kit.
Okay, so it's probably
gadgets or new devices, or
maybe sensors, in the future Apple Watch, the Apple Watch, yeah. Because I remember I was not able to find the source a few weeks ago. I was looking for that. I remember reading an article that's saying that the Apple Watch will have like 12 sensors. That was like, I think it was after the announcement that came out 6 months before the release. But after that, we never heard back from that. What do we have in terms of sensor? We have the GPS, not even a GPS, just the accelerometer and the heart rate monitor, and that's it. So there are like 2 sensors.
Ambient light, does that count?
Well, maybe. Go to K3.
Microphone. Microphone's not a sensor, but...
No, but it was like 12 sensors. So I'm like, okay, that will be like crazy. You have like a glucose meter. You could have like a... I don't even know what else can...
Oxygen in the blood level meter.
Yeah. And I remember that at one time there was an article that said that they were not able to get their sensors up to specs. After that, I've never heard anything back from that. So maybe they wanted somebody more in the robotics, who has a good talent for sensors, for future products, or for assembly.
So this week in the app corner, we have a new app from Marco Arman of Tumblr, Instapaper, Overcast, and a couple of podcasts. He wrote a Mac app called Quitter. It's not in the Mac App Store. It's free to install. I installed it. I'm not using it right now because I don't see the use of it. I think he announced today that he just received 24,000 downloads. So people saying that the Mac apps are dead, I don't think so. I think you have it installed and using it, right?
Yep, I have it installed. I loaded maybe like 5 or 6 apps in there. Let me just take a look.
So the way it works is you add the app and you can say when it's not in use, just close it, take it off my screen, or hide it, I think. Is that it?
Yeah, hide or quit. Well, there's a plus sign and minus sign. So you can add apps to your list, and then you can hide or quit after a number of minutes of inactivity. So I have Airmail, Friends, Messages, Slack, and Tweetbot. So after 10 minutes, all of those are hiding. So I'm not drastic. I don't quit them automatically, but at least they're out of my way. So they're less disturbing. So I'm not tempted to say, oh, let's take a look at Twitter. So it's a good thing. It's a good app. It's super simple. So not much to say. There's already one update that came out. He added like an about screen and a check for updates button.
Yeah, we was talking about how easier it is to push updates not through the App Store with the review process and everything, and maybe even kind of dangerous.
Well, yeah, dangerous because you don't like...
There's no no Apple QA or...
Yeah, so you have to be more wary of problems you could create. But in the end, if you have a problem, you can push an update in the next few seconds.
Right.
So it's not like if you're doomed for like 4 days.
Let's hope he gets used to Mac apps and he starts writing a Overcast for Mac.
Yes, but I'm surprised that this took so long for him to release. Or maybe he wasn't even planning to release it.
Because he talked about this a while ago, no?
Yes, he was talking about something he was trying, which was like a glorified script application.
I think it was just an Apple script or something.
Yeah, he started with that. And then after a while, he realized he could probably make an app out of it, which he did. So it's pretty nice, but I'm aching for more.
For more what? You mean Overcast?
More apps, yeah, more apps. Because this guy has a great talent to restrict the features to the not just the bare minimum, but more than the bare minimum, but just enough, the right amount of features, not too much. And he has a knack for design also. He's not afraid to use a good designer for his icons or for his color palettes and everything. So, yeah, whatever he does, I'm all in. In terms of design, for the review corner this week, I've got 2 products to talk about. The first one is the second product from a company called Elago. The first one I reviewed was actually the little stand you attach to your Thunderbolt monitor or iMac, on which you can slide in your laptop, so you don't have the laptop on your desk. This time it's the R1 IntelliCase, which is basically a Wii-like rubber case for your Apple Siri remote. So it's just a rubber case with a little loop for your wrist. And why do I find this pretty useful? Well, in my case, I have my couch is in 2 parts, and they are attached by some kind of a metal clip. And it happened way too often that my kids dropped the remote right between these 2. So what do I have to do? I have to unclick the whole couch in order to get to the remote. So this was a pain in the ass. So I was looking for something that's not too big, like a 2x4. I saw some suggestions online for that. But something that could also protect the remote, so add some kind of a shock-proof protection, because with kids and with little games, it happened a few times that they actually throw the remote. But one more thing that this one case has that I haven't seen anywhere else is there are 2 magnets inside the rubber case, which means you can actually attach your remote to the TV. So no more looking in between the couch cushions or under the couch. Whenever they're done, they just put the remote on the TV. Depending on your TV models, it can be on the side. In my case, the edge is aluminum, so it doesn't stick. I have to put it on the back. So the whole back is like a sheet of probably steel, and it sticks perfectly. There are 2 neodymium magnets, so it's pretty sturdy with a great grip. And yeah, the second app we have this week is Rogers One. I was looking for some solution for travelers who actually go into some other countries and purchase a local SIM card for a week, 2 week, a month, whatever, but still want to keep their phone numbers and text coming. So the usual solution is you just pay a load of money to your provider, and you get like a bigger plan, like a traveler plan. It can be like $10 per day. So if you go out for 3 weeks, then that's more than $200. So this was not a good solution for me. So I started looking. I even used the Rogers chat feature, which is actually a messenger chat, Facebook Messenger. So that was cool. And they pointed me out to this Rogers One feature, which is basically an app you install on your device that is like a clone of the phone app. So you have a keypad, you have your contacts, your recent calls, and you have another tab for your text. What this does is once you subscribe to the service, which is free, by the way, and you activate it, everything in terms of phone or text will go through this app over data. So what you have to do is you go to that other country, you buy a local SIM card, you replace your SIM card with the SIM card you purchased, and using the app and the background mode, the app will act as your local phone. So all the text will come in through this app, all your calls also. And you can still keep the local SIM for cheap data and cheap voice.
All this saves you, though, is like normal SMSs and phone calls. Because everything iMessage comes in anyways if you're only on data.
Yeah, if your friends are iOS. But like there are some services that send like classic SMS texts, and these actually have to go through your phone number. So for these specific texts or your Android friends, you're still reachable using this Rogers One app.
Oh, there was something this week, Android for for iMessage for Android. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah, as I just go by on Product Hunt.
Yeah, you have to run like a server on your Mac, I think.
Yes, exactly. You run a Java server on your Mac, and
you reroute everything to your phone or to the app on your phone that you have to build and run yourself.
It's like a 3-part app with a server, local server. So your computer has to still be available. You have to be on the same network, and then you'll be able to use iMessage on Android.
Just use your Mac if you have to be on the same network as your phone.
Yes. The second product I'm currently testing is a follow-up to another pair of headphones I reviewed a few months ago. I reviewed the Sennheiser Urbanite XL wireless, and now I'm currently reviewing the Momentum wireless. So what are those? Those are over-ear headphones, so big leather cups that go around your ears. They're foldable. They have a retro look. I currently have the beige color, not the prettiest color of them. I would have preferred the black, which looked a little bit more modern, but for review purposes, you never really choose a color. So what do? They are wireless, so they're Bluetooth, and they also have a cable, so you can plug them in your device. They have an amazing sound quality. I thought the Urbanite were pretty good, even some of the best headphones I've tried, but these are cranking this to 11. The bass is very round, very well defined. It's not like the Beats. It's not like over-bassed. The bass is there. It has its own presence, but it's not taking all the place. There's still mids and highs. Very good sound. I don't see any difference on wired and wireless, so I don't know what they did very special with this pair, but the sound is very, very good.
They made the sound bad on the wire, so it matches the wireless.
Yeah, exactly. But the really killer feature from these headphones, which are $550 Canadian, so I think I saw them at $400 US, is the active noise cancellation. I also tried a pair of Jabra Office headphones recently with noise cancellation. That Jabra pair was emitting some kind of a high-pitched noise. So whenever I was having the headphones on my head, but with no music playing or during a discussions on which there's a silence, I could feel some kind of pressure in my ears. So it was very awful. In this case of the Momentum, the noise cancellation is very good. I'm comparing it to the Bose headphones, which currently have, in my opinion, the best noise cancellation. This one is very, very close. I would say that the Bose are just a little bit more efficient, but in an office environment, these are great, especially that the sound for music on the Sennheiser Momentum is much better than the Bose. The Bose, the sound quality, I would say, is
average.
Yeah, very average, and not even great. I would say more average. But the sound is amazing, and the noise cancellation is very good. So it's a kind of a best of two worlds. One special thing, though, if you don't like noise cancellation, whenever you have the pair in Bluetooth mode, it's always on by default, the noise cancellation. If you have it plugged in a wire, then you can choose to put it on or off.
They don't get too hot with the big cups and leather like that. It looks like real leather too, not like the synthetic stuff.
Yeah, it's real leather, but no, I wore them. So you see, today I had it on my ears for like 2 hours straight, and I was not hot. Of course, if I'm mowing my lawn, probably I'll get my head sweaty and everything. So I would.
Are they too tight?
Nope, they're very comfortable. If you look at the pictures, the way that you slide the ear cups on the band, you have lots of flexibility, and they're not too tight. They're very comfortable.
Okay, because that's often a problem I have with headphones. They're too tight, like on my ears, and it hurts even though they're not on-ear headphones.
Yeah, the Jabra, I had this problem too. I ended up putting them on a soccer ball for like a few days.
Okay.
It worked, but over time they came back to their previous position. So yeah, but this one you don't need to do the soccer ball trick. It works fine. That's it for this week. It's a very short episode. Not many news coming out this week. So you can find the show notes at ipsopixel.co/rgb/9. You can contact us on Twitter or by email if you want to send us some comments, feedback. On Twitter, I'm Valliere, Vallières.
And I'm Tyler Menard, Tylermenard.
And that's it for tonight. So have a great week.
See you next week.